I found out that the tradition of a Christmas pageant or creche began in 1223. Now, we're in 2012, so 1223 is a really long time ago. And it started with St. Francis of Assisi. He decided to bring in oxen and donkey and hay and a manger into the church at Greccio, so he could, and this is a quote, make a memorial of that child who was born in Bethlehem, and as far as possible, behold with bodily eyes the hardships of his infant state, lying on hay in a manger with the ox and ass standing by. So this began the tradition. And the tradition of this tableau where people and animals were brought into the church to bear witness to what happened a long time ago. Eventually, the tradition divided into two. The creche, which used statues, probably because, oxen and ass real ones were kind of messy, right? So statues. And the pageant, which used live actors. But in any case, the question that was being asked then, and we are still asked to engage in, is a particularly human one. What would it have been like to be there? What was it like to be Mary and Joseph, the shepherds, and the wise men, and most of all, the baby Jesus on that night a long time ago? Our pageant today takes those questions, but changes them just a little bit, and asks, what would it have been like if this story took place now? And the children, if they're younger children, if you want to come up and sit on the floor in front here with a parent, that's wonderful.
Christmas story is a story about some very extraordinary things that happen to some very ordinary people. No one who was alive on that first Christmas, nearly 2,000 years ago, had any idea that in a little town called Bethlehem, a child who would be the savior of the world's people was being born in a lowly stable. Similarly, I doubt if any of you are aware of the true medicine importance of the birth that is taking place tonight. The setting of the birth is a little bit humble, and so are the people involved with it. But if any of you knew just what this birth meant, it would be the front page of tomorrow's newspaper. Our scene is the apartment of two newlyweds, Mary and Joe Christian. Joe is a carpenter. Mary is a dental hygienist. Today Mary has come home early from work and is making dinner while waiting for Joe to come home.
Please look at you. Ah, who are you? How did you get in my apartment? And if you don't get out, I'm calling the police. Oh, so you are an angel. Really? Yesterday, I saw on TV about people who have encountered with angels. And last week, I saw a book at the bookstore about...
Please, I'm not the son of angel that happens to be trending right now. I'm inhabiting bookstores and coffee houses. I'm a real angel. And I have some very important news for you, so listen carefully. You're going to have a son.
But
You're going to have a son, and you'll be the king of kings and the savior of the world.
well, why has God chosen me to have this child?
Because he is found favor with you. Now go in peace.
A baby? A son? Joe, we're gonna have a baby. An angel was just here to told me he is going to be the King of Kings and the Savior of the world.
Needless to say, everything that the angel told Mary would happen came to pass. She became pregnant and was able to convince Joe of the child's holy purpose. The months passed, and as soon as it was just days before Christmas, and very close for Mary to give birth, Mary and Joe were decorating their apartment, listening to their radio, and happily looking forward for the upcoming holiday, as well as the birth of their first child.
We interrupt this broadcast with an important announcement from the United States Bureau of the Census. As you know, a new law was passed last year requiring all citizens to register at the town of their birth. All registrations must be completed by December 25th of this year. I repeat, everyone must be registered in their birth town by December 25th. Thank you. And now we return to our regularly scheduled broadcast.
Did you register us?
No, I thought you did.
Fantastic. Now we only have a few days to get to back to the city where we were born. We're surely never gonna make it back by
If you
Christmas.
live right now, and the roads stay clear, we might just make it. Let's go.
And so Mary and Joe packed their suitcases and drove off for their new minivan for the city in which they were born, which happened to be Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It only took them a day to drive to the city and register, and they were hopeful that they would get back home in time for Christmas. Unfortunately, all the eastern Pennsylvania was hit by the worst blizzard it had seen in years. Mary and Joe found themselves snowbound in Bethlehem. Then their minivan became stuck in a snowdrift. Even once they were in Bethlehem, during the peak tourist season, it was impossible for them to find a hotel room anywhere. They tried the Hilton. They tried the Holiday Inn. Finally, as the night was growing colder and they were becoming desperate, they decided to try the random flea-bag motel that they had first been into.
Yeah, what do you want?
Like a room for the night.
A room for the night. Yeah, we don't have any rooms, there's no vacancy here.
But my wife is pregnant.
So, she's pregnant. Does this look like a maternity ward? But, hey, gee, it's Christmas Eve. There's a garage, an old garage out back, and you could stay there and just be careful about the rats. Oh, and Merry Christmas.
And so Mary and Joe went into the random garage to spend the night. There, Mary suddenly gave birth to her son. Fortunately, Joe was at hand to coach her the next break. Mary wrapped the child in a sweater and laid him down to rest in a spare cell. Now in that same country, there was no tow drivers blowing and salty by the night. They were sitting by the road, having a quick coffee break, when suddenly an angel appeared before them.
Oh, yay.
I bring you wonderful. Do not be afraid. I bring you wonderful news. A child has been born tonight in Bethlehem, who will be called the King of Kings and the Savior of the world. You will find the baby wrapped in a sweater and laying behind bars.
And suddenly there appeared with the angel a multitude of angels praising God and saying,
Peace on earth, goodwill toward men.
Peace on earth, goodwill toward all.
Get back into the truck, go to drive to Bethlehem and find the baby and the angel told us about.
Let me finish my coffee.
Come on, we have to go to Bethlehem right now.
In Bethlehem, it's not good. In Bethlehem, there's no drivers going everything just as the angel had said. Mary and Joe were quite surprised,
We weren't expecting any visitors.
but they invited them in to see the baby and were amazed by the story told of the angel.
Meanwhile, at an observatory in the far country of Kazakhstan, where world-renowned astronomers were busy sweeping the sky with their telescope. Their names were Dr. Malkia, Dr. Balthazar, and Dr. Gaspar. They were the three wise men.
That's why first thank you.
Maybe it's not a star at all. Maybe it's a flying saucer.
Of course it's a star.
Yes, it's definitely a star.
But what does it mean? This star wasn't there a few days ago, and now it's the brightest star in the sky.
Well, I have been doing some calculations.
Yes.
And if one considers the star's circumference and the inverse proportion it shares with the Earth's orbit,
Yes, yes,
and if you apply quantum physics and analytical calculus,
yes, yes.
the star's presence signifies the occurrence of an important event here on Earth.
What sort of event?
It appears to be the birth of a king.
But where has it taken place?
It would be where the star is directly overhead.
And where is that?
Well, by my calculations, the star's distance from the Earth using differential analysis and Euclidean geometry, the birth has occurred somewhere in the eastern United States. Let's see, it would be directly overhead here.
Bethlehem, PA?
Whoever heard of a king being born in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania?
But I'm sure that I'm right. Would you like to check my equations?
There's only one thing to do. We have to go to Bethlehem ourselves and find the newborn king.
And so the three wise persons got in a plane for the United States and then took a Greyhound bus to Bethlehem. The arrival of three famous astronomers did not go unnoticed in the city. And the mayor invited them to his office for an official welcome. After presenting each of them with a coupon book full of savings, by Bethlehem stores, the mayor got down to business.
Well, welcome. I'm very glad and very honored to have you here in my mayor's office from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I wanted to make sure that you felt very welcome, so here's a coupon book that we give to all new visitors that are coming to this town. What brings you here?
We observed a star in the sky that signifies the birth of a king, and we think it happened right here in Bethlehem.
Here, a king in Bethlehem? I don't know about this. This gets me a little worried. After all, I'm not sure what Bethlehem's going to do with a king, and really, I was hoping to run for Congress. I don't know that this is going to help. Well, My paperwork doesn't tell me about a new birth, so I don't know exactly where this king is born. I hope your calculations will let you know exactly where. And feel free to go explore the city. After all, you have the coupon book and the map. So please, if you do find the king, can you come back and let me know so I can make sure that that family also gets welcomed?
Thank you for your help.
Thank you, and good luck.
The wise persons agreed and set the city for the newborn king. It did not take them long to find Mary, Joe, and the baby Emmanuel, who was still living in the garage while their minivan was being fixed. The wise persons knelt before the child and offered him their gifts.
A seeker's care pack for the child.
A handcraft bronze blanket. Absolutely, the best cloth diapers you can buy, and they're better for the environment.
The wise persons paid their respects to the baby and prepared to leave. Fortunately, they received an anonymous email message before they left, warning them of the mayor's evil scheme. They snuck out of Bethlehem and went back to their own country, disguised as a free German Opa The next day, Mary, Joe, and Emmanuel returned to their own city. So, in the coming days, as you celebrate another humble birth that took place long ago, remember the story behind that birth and the ordinary people chosen by God to perform His most important work.
Mary and Joseph,